he said, well, you know, people who are married live longer. I'm like, no, men who are partnered live longer. Women who are partnered do not live longer. Single women live longer. I'm not a sexist. That's statistics.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So word has been spreading around that the happiest demographic on earth are single, childless women, that the less responsibilities you have, the better off you're in life. And look, it's time to use some common sense and debunk all of that crap. So let's get started. We have Ampu here reading the articles as well. But we're gonna tell Ampu to go play around, and we're gonna have this discussion on our own, gentlemen. Ampu will be around, don't worry about it. But let's just read them real quick and we'll have a commentary. So this woman, as you saw, right, she states that women live longer when single. Let's read this article, okay? I have two articles pulled up. Let's start with this one that states that unmarried women live longer, are happier, according to survey. Now, what survey? Doesn't say. Survey, alright? Source, trust me, bro. So let's get started. This was posted on the New York Post on 2019. And it says, single ladies, the secret to happiness may never be putting a ring on it. And all the single ladies who for the life of them cannot secure a ring, cheer. Women who are never married and don't have children are the most content, excuse me, I read content because I'm a YouTuber, so anyways, are the most content and outlive their married counterparts, according to Paul Dolan. Who the hell is that? A behavioral science professor at the London School of whatever, so a professor. Dolan, a best-selling author whose most recent book, Happy Ever After, Escaping the Myths of the Perfect Life, analyzed data from the American Time Use Survey, found that married people said they were happier overall, but only when their partner was within earshot. So this guy wrote a book, Escaping the Myths of the Perfect Life. Isn't that what you want, gentlemen? When humanity has, you know, been working on this for the same way for thousands of years. But it just so happens in the last 15 years, thanks to people like Dolan, we have been able to find out what real happiness is all about. Sure, bro. But anyway, this guy just read this data from the American Time Use Survey. Again, which data doesn't specify. Just data, okay? You can go to the American Time Use Survey and browse through all the studies done and surveys done and find it for yourself. You know, Dolan is basically telling you, go F yourself, find it on your own. Anyways, we continue with the whimsical photos. I love these stock images. Anyway, he says, married people are happier than other population subgroups, but only when their spouse is in the room, when they're asked how happy they are. When the spouse is not present, effing miserable, Dolan said at the Hay Festival in Wales on Sunday, according to the Guardian. We do have some good longitudinal data following the same people over time, but I'm going to do a massive disservice to that science and just say, if you're a man, you should probably get married. If you're a woman, don't bother. Convenient narrative there. Married men take fewer risks and calm down, and therefore are healthier than their single counterparts, whereas women did not see the same benefits. Women's health was mainly unaffected by marriage, but middle-aged married women reported more mental and physical problems than single ones. He continues, you take less risks, you earn more money at work, and you live a little longer. She, on the other hand, has to put up with that, and she dies sooner than if she never married. Okay, so first he says that women are overall unaffected, but then we learn that actually they pass away sooner if they are married, right? So for all the married ladies, if you have a husband, look, man, this is a health issue at this point. I think you should get divorced and you still have a chance to prolong your life a little. I'm being sarcastic, of course. The healthiest and happiest population subgroup are women who never married or had children, Dolan says. So this is the common narrative, right? This is what we hear mostly from women and coincidentally from single women. Coincidentally, interestingly enough. So I love how this guy, all right, there are no sources for this. There is no information where he's getting this from. This is just his opinion. Because the only sources, okay, I'm going to spoil it for you. The only sources about this whole survey is that this guy analyzed some data, unspecified, that he read in the American Time Use survey that basically says that married people tend to give better, better responses as to whether they're happy or not, depending on if their partner is there or not, which makes sense, right? You wouldn't say in front of your wife how unhappy you are. Maybe you will tell that to a friend or something. So that makes sense. That's common sense, common logic. But he says that he read some data, and then he goes on to pull out of his arse all this information that is not cited in any way, shape, or form. There are no studies done on this. There are no surveys or anything, right? So let's continue, guys. Despite the fact that never getting married may be better for women overall, there are still stigmas associated with never tying the knot. Yeah, the stigmas, guys. This is the last paragraph. This is his opinion. You see a single woman of 40 who has never had children. Bless, that's a shame, isn't it? Maybe one day you'll meet the right guy and that'll change. No, maybe she'll meet the wrong guy and that'll change. Maybe she'll meet a guy who makes her less happy and healthy and die sooner, he said. And that's it. That's it. That's the sort of arguments that you will get from the crowd saying that women are happier when single. Right? This is it, guys. It doesn't get better than this. I read some survey here and there, find it on your own, and then I pulled out of my arse this whole narrative, right? That's it. And then look at the sponsored stories. Brad Pitt's son turns 15 and is a copy of his dad. 40 plus bizarre things you can only see in Dubai. Brain surgeon. Do this to relieve tinnitus and hearing loss. Stop doing this. So do this, then stop doing this. I'm a little confused. These things are considered normal in Iceland. Elevate your brand with whatever. Whiten your teeth at home with this revolutionary toothbrush. If that doesn't sound like some scam coming from an Indian guy, I don't know what does, alright? Like, these are the type of articles, guys, that you will get that, make this point that women are happier single. It's the BuzzFeed type of article that some underpaid, miserable woman in her 40s is writing, alright? And this guy, Dolan, or what was it? He has a clever way of selling best-selling books. He says, a lot of women are single and miserable and want to cope with the fact that they cannot secure a man for the life of it. Let me write a book about it. It's a great plan, honestly. I tell you guys, invest in boxed wine, write books about, how being single actually makes you happier. You can start a podcast or something telling women to buy your courses about why being single is better and how to cope with the fact that you're miserable. Do that and you're going to make a fortune out of it, I'm telling you. So that's it. This is the article, guys. Again, there's no citations. Let's move on to the opposing opinion. This is from the National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information. Life expectancy and active life expectancy by marital status among all the US adults. Results from the US Medical Health Outcome Survey. So why older? We're going to find out in a moment. Background. Previous investigations of the relationship between marital status and life expectancy and healthy life expectancy rely on the assumption that participants will remain in a given marital status until death. This study estimated total life expectancy, TLE, and active life expectancy for respondents by their baseline marital status using a large longitudinal sample of the US community-dwelling elderly population. Alright, so basically, there were studies done in the past that stated that, yes, indeed, married both men and women live longer. So what they do now is survey only older people, because this way they can get rid of the assumption that these younger people are going to stay married forever, alright? So this is even a more objective look on things. Methods. Data were from the Medical Health Outcome Survey. Yada yada. We included respondents aged over or equal to 65 years. Multi-state models estimated total and active life expectancy by marital status to allow participants' marital status change during the remaining lifetime. Results. Let's get to check it. Married men and women had a longer life expectancy than unmarried men and women. For example, at 65 years, the total life expectancy for married men was 2.2 years longer than unmarried men. And active life expectancy for married men was 2.4 years longer. For women, the total life expectancy for married women was 1.5 years longer than unmarried women, and 2 years longer as active life expectancy, right? Such marriage protection effects decreased with age. In subgroups of unmarried people, never married persons had the shortest life expectancy among men, and never married, divorced, and widowed people had a similar and shorter life expectancy among women. Alright, so basically, for men, when it comes to groups of unmarried people, the type of group who had the shortest life expectancy were men who were never married. For women, both women who were never married, divorced, or widowed had the shortest life expectancy. Alright, so that's the conclusion, and let's just take a glimpse at this study. Highlights, introduction, there you have all the citations, all the measures taken. Here you even have some formulas, alright? Some mathematical formulas, results. Here you have some tables, some graphs you have around here. Look at all of that, guys, okay? All of this is information that proves the fact that people who are married, both men and women, live longer. And here are the references. There are a total of 40 references, okay? So this is the information that you can get from reliable sources. This is not some BuzzFeed crap article written by someone who did a survey on probably 15 people and then made assumptions that are not even based off of that survey, all right? Let's check it one more time, all right? This is the information that you have provided that people in marriages live longer, all right? Take a look at it. This is it. And this, on the other hand, is the information that you have available stating that unmarried women live longer. All right, let's take a look. Oh, that's it. That's it. Okay, and 50% of that is this whimsical photo right here. This is it, guys. So make your choices. All right, who you gonna trust? And look, you don't even need these surveys. This is the best part. Nowadays, everyone, where did you get that from? Find me a survey. There are things that you can just use common knowledge and common sense and your observations of the world to figure that out, right? I mean, I'm reading this just to make the point even more, but I don't need this to believe it, all right? I don't need a study that tells me that women in marriages live longer, because it's reasonable for that to be the case. It's not reasonable for single women to live longer. Why is that? Well, this whole crowd thinks that, well, you see, single women tend to be bigger narcissists, and they are also more self-absorbed, so all the money they have, they spend on themselves. Everything is about themselves. They think that the whole universe revolves around themselves and around their happiness. They think that God himself has given them a right to be happy on this planet, so, well, that must make them happier, right? Well, it turns out it doesn't. Thinking that you are happy and thinking all the day solely about yourself doesn't make you happier. This is common sense, again, but these people fail to realize it, of course, because they are the biggest narcissists who have walked the face of Earth. These studies, these surveys, this is where they get the information from. They ask single women, are you happy? And they say, oh, yes, I'm really happy. And that's it. That's the sources, that's the information. Well, what do you expect them to tell you? You can do a survey on substance addicts, all right? You can bunch up all the junkies in your town and ask them, hey, are you happy? What do you expect they're gonna tell you? Do you expect that they'll give you this really insightful analysis on the effects that substances have on people, and that, you know what, man, I should have been working right now, I should have made something out of my life, but I'm just a junkie, I'm actually not happy? No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna tell you, oh yeah, man, I'm really happy, especially if you give me some dose. Man, I'm just gonna be kicking it. What do you expect? When you ask these single ladies if they're single, when they've been living in the echo chamber for the last 15 years, that tells them that they are so happy when they don't care about anyone in the world and don't have a single responsibility, All right, these sorts of surveys are the equivalent of asking a guy who is at the gym while he's sweating like a pig, hey, do you feel relaxed? Are you feeling okay right now? And he'll probably tell you, well, I'm kind of sweating like a pig. Well, on the other hand, you ask some guy sitting on his couch eating Cheetos, do you feel relaxed? And he'll tell you, oh yeah, mate, I'm having such a good time. Oh, study finds that people who sit on their couch all day are more relaxed and happy and live longer than people who go to the gym. This is the equivalent, all right? Well, why they always ask, the same thing happens with divorce. They ask women that just got out of a divorce in the first year, are you happy? Of course they're going to tell you they're happy. They wouldn't have got divorced otherwise if they didn't think that that getting a divorce is going to make them happier. Why don't you ask these same women after 15 years when they've been, getting passed around on dating apps, mistreated by all the guys, used as S3X dolls by all the community, right? Why don't you ask them then when they are single and miserable, living with their cats, crying themselves to sleep? No, they always ask divorced women after a short while after they got divorced and they're still, around the dating apps. These surveys about women being the happiest demographic on earth, single women that is, they always ask them when, of course, they are a product of the echo chamber, like, what did you expect? They wouldn't be single if they really thought that being in a marriage is going to make them happier, all right? It's like, man, they're completely baseless. They're absolutely stupid. They're just retarded. These surveys, guys, you have to be extremely unintelligent to believe in them, all right? And again, even if you wanted to believe in them, it's like all the information there is out there is some crappy little surveys that ask like 30 people, and then some simp gives his opinion about it, right? On the other hand, you have like these graphs, these statistics, multiple surveys done throughout the years. This last one by the health center was done in 2020. By the way, it's recent. It's not from 30 years ago, all right? It's so tiresome to live surrounded by so many misinformation, especially when people buy into it just because it suits their narrative. You guys, you can type on Google the most obnoxious thing that you can think of, and if you frame it for it to be a positive sentence, you're gonna get some survey, some study, some information about it, all right? Just type the dumbest thing you can think of, and you're gonna get some guy out there that wrote an article about it and did a little survey about it, all right? There's all types of bullcrap on the internet, and I really dislike these people that, oh, study finds this, how convenient. It just so happens that the thing that I believe in because I want to cope with reality is on the internet by this guy Dolan that said whatever based on some survey he read, an unspecified one that doesn't even cover the subject. But well, if Dolan wrote about it, I guess it's true, right? I mean, come on, man. These sorts of people, I cannot believe that this narrative is so famous as it is, that single women over 30 are the happiest demographic, childless and all that. But we see why that's the case, right? Because we have an epidemic, we have an endless sea of single women being absolutely miserable, that can't make a man stay for the life of them, and that just want to focus on themselves because they are self-absorbed narcissists, so they want to believe this narrative, all right? And look, guys, in order to be right, in order to have a objective understanding of society, just observe things. It's all it takes. What in the hell will make you think that these narcissists are the happiest demographic on earth? It just doesn't make any sense, all right? Now, I'm not a professor, as Doyle is, or forgot his name already. He's that meaningless. I'm not a professor like him at the University of London or whatever of these nuts, but I have this thing called brain that I use for common sense, and this is how I get to, have a more objective than him understanding of society and of current topics, right? Just use your brain, use common sense, make observations. These statements that people like Doyle or whatever are making don't add up, don't make any sense, don't hold water. and every person with more than 2 brain cells can figure that out. So guys, we're gonna close the video here. This topic has been getting on my nerves. All these stupid, deluded women saying, haha, actually, I'm so happy, you know, making fun of the women who are married. Like, you're married, what a loser. Oh, you have to wake up at night to care about other people, your children, you know, what a loser. Here I am, on the other hand, spending all my money on my own. Well, if you think that's what happiness is about, go at it, right? I think that every person who has more than 2 brain cells can really understand what is going on here. But hey, if that's what happiness is about for you, I'm okay with it. Crush your life, ruin your life, cry yourself to sleep, keep asking where are all the good men. Well, you're the most self-absorbed narcissist. Do that. I don't care about your happiness. If you want to actively try and ruin it, do that. We are here, men and women are here, telling you that this is not the case. And you often get these, right? It's, guys, often married women who have children always say things like, having children is the best thing that can happen to you. You know, my life with my husband has been so productive. We have learned so many things. We have done so many things. You know, women like these who build families, they never tell you, you know, I regret it. On their deathbed, these women never say, you know what I regret? Having children. I wish I could have worked more for my manager who doesn't care about me, you know, for a longer time. I just wish I had bought more things for myself. I really regret having children. You never get that sort of answer. Meanwhile, these women, the happiest demographic on earth, if you could get this survey done when they are in their deathbed and all the money they have earned, that doesn't buy them any friendship, doesn't buy them a person who cares about them in the slightest, all right? If you could ask them if it was worth it, well, we'd have a much different survey. But guys, thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.